down the beef from the front quarter down to the hind quarter. As we go through this step, feel free to ask questions at any time. I'm assuming you got shelves and you got shelves. So a lot less shelves in this room than there was the last room. Feel free to ask any questions that you guys have. Stop us at any time, and we will answer it to the best of our abilities. My name is Larry Harrison. I'm the Pasture, and this is Mark. Mark's been doing this for it'll be 7 years in August, and he's had over 25 years of beef cutting experience, and born in Washington, D.C., and we've been appreciative of his experience and his meat cutting skills and what he's been able to do for Marksbury since he's been here. So he'll be utilizing this whole beef case, currently using this for 2 young beef and 1 over 30-month beef for their campus. We're thankful for the opportunity to be able to share that with them. And a lot of what they do is what we're going to be showing you, utilizing the whole carcass to get the most value out of it. So if you're going to be buying a whole carcass, you have to utilize some of the cuts that you may not be familiar with. And so we're going to be showing you some of these cuts. We're going to be showing you some cuts you may not be familiar with, and then we're going to see some cuts that everyone knows, like ribeye, tenderloin, sirloin, and New York strip. To start off with, this is an over 30-month beef, and so for being over 30-month beef, we had to remove the spinal cord, and we'll be unable to utilize this back column here. And the reason that is because of mad cow disease. And so even though America, or I said America, but the United States has never had a confirmed case of mad cow disease, the mad cow disease that's been in America has been from exports from Mexico or Canada. The United States government has put strict regulation on these animals. And so anything over 30 months, you have to remove the spinal column and the spinal cord, and it has to be sent to a landfill. And does anyone know how mad cow disease is spread, or how it comes about? So cows? Yeah, so it's a meat byproduct. So they're feeding meat byproducts back into the animals. Now, luckily, we don't have to worry about that. All of our animals are grass-fed and raised out here in the bluegrass. Foraging on things like alfalfa, bluegrass, fescue, and we're 100% grass-fed. So we don't have to worry about mad cow disease, but we still have to follow in the guidelines of USDA and the government for the restrictions. So as we go through today, we'll talk about some of the cuts that if you're buying a cow that's over 30 months, that you won't be able to utilize, and some of the cuts that you can be able to utilize if it was a young cow. So we're going to start off today with a chuck. Mark's going to be breaking down this brisket first. Briskets are used for different things, barbacoa, just braised brisket, putting it in the smokehouse and pulling it. There's lots of good uses for briskets. Or some of these chefs can tell us a lot more. And if you notice, he's following the seam. He's want to stay out of the meat, and he's following that seam around the edge of the beef. So each one of these pieces will pull off and allow you to see what we're talking about. Now, if this is a whole carcass, you'll notice that we went 5 bones. So if this was a full carcass, we'd be coming to the 5th bone, starting here, counting down, and breaking it at the 5th bone. Now, on this brisket, if you'll look, this is a seam. We're following these seams when we're pulling these off. So you can almost pull these away with your hand. That's the way these seams are made. So when they were, when the first beef cuts were being made, I'm sure that they were probably just following the seams of the animal and just utilizing the different muscles. Now, some of you chefs probably know there's about 75 names for every piece of meat, and so it can be confusing what some people call different parts of the animal. So if we're calling it something that you're not familiar with, or you have another name, feel free to tell us about it. And we also use a nap book. And I don't know if you guys use these books, but it makes it really easy for us to communicate with our chefs and our customers on what products we're actually looking at. Now, so this is an untrimmed brisket, and still got the top part on it. Now, when we would smoke this, we put the whole piece in there, we dry rub it, or we may brine it, and we would smoke it in a smokehouse, or Mark will go ahead and clean that up a little bit. And this is what you normally see in your supermarkets, and your Kroger's, and Walmart's, and your Whole Foods, a piece that's cleaned up a bit. Now, the reason the chef may want the whole piece is you see that we cut off a big chunk of fat there. Now, what's going to give you your flavor? When you're putting that in the smokehouse, you want that flavor, you want it to soak in those juices, and so chef's going to utilize this brisket and all the fat that comes with it. A normal brisket, may weigh between 5 to 7 pounds. All right, he's going to flip it over, and we're looking at two different sides here. We're looking at the chuck and the shoulder side. And when we're looking at this, there's a blade bone that runs down this beef, and it's separated. And that's what he's looking at when he's going to separate the chuck from the shoulder. So what we're going to be taking off first is the chuck, and what's in this chuck is the flat iron, the top blade, the shoulder clod. We'll be harvesting the shank down here, the TRYS major. These are some of the things that we're going to be pulling from this shoulder area. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to stop us at any time.
You can feel, at the end of the beef, you can feel that blade right there. You're going to start with the neck, and the next side too. Put all the pressure on that blade bone right there.
So he's
up and down.
He's just going to follow that blade bone all the way down. And he's going to get to the joint at the end here, and he's going to pull it over, and you'll see him come across that joint, and that's where the blade bone is attached to that shank bone. And when we get on down to breaking the shank off, you'll see where we pull that apart. Now, when you're utilizing the top blade here, you'll see by pulling it out that we're keeping all the meats on the top blade. We're making sure that bone is as clean as possible. And that Mark's making it look very easy. This is a very difficult piece. The top blade is one of the hardest pieces to really get out clean, to break into a flat iron, and we've got a very sharp knife, and it took years of practice, honing his skills to be able to keep his knife sharp. And if there's anybody who's new to meat cutting, that's probably one of the hardest things, keeping a very sharp knife, learning how to still properly, how to sharpen your knife, and that's going to allow you to be able to cut this meat a lot better. So if you look at the seam, it's separating the top blade from the shoulder, and he's going to pull that through and separate this top blade. Now when he gets that top blade separated, we'll be putting it into two pieces called flat iron. How many of you guys ever ate flat iron? So flat iron is a pretty good piece of meat, right? It's a good steak. When I go to restaurants, it's usually one of the things I look for on the menu. If I know that a chef has took the time to prepare a flat iron, it's usually pretty good. So it's one of my favorite pieces.
That's the top blade. Some of the two most tenderest cuts on the beef are from the shoulder area. What do you think so? They are. I think this is supposed to be the most tender.
Yeah, the
TRYS major and this top blade.
Yeah, so when he's breaking down the top blade, the top blade's got two parts to it, and both of them have a thing called silver skin on it. So this is really what takes a lot of skill. You'll see that he's pushing the fat away, and he's uncovering this silver skin.
Whoever dreamed this cut up is a genius. If utilizing the great tender cut of meat out of a roast, they're going to be a roast. When you take the silver skin off, you want to angle your blade towards the silver skin slightly. Back each way.
That's going to allow him to stay out of the meat.
If we, as much as we don't.
Chefs in the room, do you guys use the flat iron often? So this is a piece that if you weren't going to use, this is a higher. while he's looking at cleaning that up, look at the shoulder here. And the TRYS major here. And again, that's one, it's kind of like the tenderloin that, it's not, doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. It's super tender. You can almost pull it apart with your hands. But as far as flavor, it doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. Now, some things that you can do with the shoulder block. You can do shoulder steaks, where you're just going to cut them into, again, probably inch steaks. You can do roast, 2 to 3 pound roast. You can do stewed meat. You can make pita meat. Those are some things that you can do with the shoulder block to utilize it and make it workable. Of course, you can always add it to grind and make burgers or patties and ground meat that way.
This is the TRYS. According to the tenderness chart, there's some kind of tenderness test. This is supposed to be what's tender.
Yeah, so, I also want to explain the difference between grass-fed and grain-fed. This beef here is a grass-fed beef. Our grass-fed beef usually ranges between 1,000 to 1,200 pounds, and grain-fed beef are usually 15 to 1,600 pounds. And what makes the difference is the amount of protein and energy that they're allowed to get, or able to get, in an 18 to 24 month period. Now this is an over 30 month animal, so it doesn't really pertain to this animal. But on a normal animal, it's grass-fed. It's walking a lot, it's burning a lot of energy, so it's keeping its weight down. Now, on a grain-fed beef, where it doesn't have to walk as far to its food source, to its water source, it's gaining on with much faster rate.
So after you get all this fat and the silk from you see that seam right there?
Yeah.
That's where you got to separate both sides from. You get the boneless.
This is something that takes a lot of knife skill. He'll shorten up his knife so that he has more control of it, and he's going to go down the silver skin and clean that.
Angling your blade like this, right, like you're going to scrape it off. But you don't want to. So sometimes a very sharp knife won't work on this very well because it cuts with that silver skin. You just got to get that blade angle right.
So on a side of beef, you're going to be getting 2 flat irons per beef. So that's I think someone had a question for me.
Yeah.
Do you finish them on grain? We do not finish them on grain. We do completely grass-fed. We believe it makes a better product, better for the environment. We believe that we can get the same taste and quality that you see in grain-fed.
That was actually my question, is there a different taste?
Yeah, so it's all about how you're able to raise it, right? So like if I was to take this beef and throw it into a 100-acre field with a bunch of wild onions, this beef, field management and crop rotations and utilizing the land to its fullest potential, we can get flavors that I think are superior to grass-fed. Now, I don't know, do you guys like the products you had today for lunch and breakfast? All those were grass-fed products, and I think that we have one of the greatest burgers around. Lots of people come in and they travel from all over the place to eat our burgers, and I just really feel like with proper management, grass-fed gets such a bad name as far as quality and taste, but I think that's just due to not educating themselves on how to properly raise grass-fed. A lot of times in these systems, they're just thrown out to a field and they're allowed to eat whatever grass they want, right? And so it's not good for the field because they're eating just certain patches of grass. It's allowing the weeds to come up and overtake the fields, right? But with rotational grazing, it's making them eat everything that's in that strip area. And so there's better forage coming up, and then you're rotating them, on a daily, weekly basis according to how big your herd is.
I've always been a fat and flavor guy. I was shocked when I ate a grass-fed beef strip steak. It was tender, it was flavorful. I've always been like a horrible guy.
So the last group, they asked about color and texture on pork and beef, and what's the difference between grass-fed and grain-fed, and why is the color different? And so a lot of the color has to do with what the animal eats and how it's raised. And part of that, especially on pork, is when you're raising on acorns out in the forest, eating foraging, different things that they find in the ground, plus support them with, we support or pork with non-GMO feed. You know, they're going to be a lot darker color. You know, they're going to have a lot better better flavor profile. Now, with beef, you know, we take extreme care to make sure that our beef are handled and treated very humanely. And what that's going to do is going to give it the color that you see here. Now, if you were to take this beef and get it excited, or you was getting rough with the beef before loading, or not treating it very well prior to slaughter, this beef would be very dark. It would almost be black. And so that's what they call it, dark color. And that's going to give the flavor of the beef a very unpleasant taste. It's going to give the meat very tough texture, and it's going to be a very dark in appearance.
They take great pains to make sure that his cows are as calm as possible to make that go.
So that's something very important to us. Is that you guys are familiar with Temple branding. We use the branded style pen system in the back, and you know, we just want to make sure that the animals are at ease when unloading, and to place them into the pen and give them the best environment they possibly can have. You know, going through the process of harvesting those animals. Now, these two pieces, these are the flat iron. So, you know, there's a top blade and it's all together, but when we separate it out, take off the silver skin, this is what we're left. This is with the flat iron. So, if we were going to cut these in steaks, we might make 3 steaks out of this, you know, 3 8-ounce steaks. And so, it just really depends on, short roast. We can make steaks out of this, stewed meats, like I said, fajita meat, and roast steaks. So the shoulders are really great. You know, has a lot of value-added cuts in it. So we're going to put this around, and he's going to be on the other side. Let's go take a look at the shank first. And I was going to show you this part here. So if you guys come and look at this, this is the bone or the shank is connected. So you can see it's kind of loose. It's connected to the joint right here on this blade bone. This is the shank. And then usually somewhere this might be cross-cut shank to braise it, keep it as a whole shank. You know, a lot of times people add this to trim. You know, it's kind of a tougher piece of meat, so it's hard to utilize. You'll notice that it goes from thick to thin. Now, that's important because a lot of customers, especially if you're a chef, you want to serve your customers, you know, a piece that's very uniform and the same. And so it takes a lot of animals to be able to do that, because the natural shank is going to get smaller as we cut it down. Now, if you're serving 8-ounce shanks, like we're handing you 6-ounce shanks, so we're basically only going to be able to send you the top 2 in big amounts. So that's why a lot of customers just go ahead and grind that piece. Where it's going to be cut down now, on the other side of the blade bone, this is where your mock tender is, this is where your chuck eye is, your chuck eye roll, and he's just going to do the exact same thing on the blade bone here. So he's going to go right around that bone. See how clean the other side is, how it's almost all bone, very little meat on it. Now, all the bones that you see, normally they'd be gone to the trim station where a guy would just be taking off all the excess meat on those bones. You've been very careful not to get to the meat taking off this bone.
If you cut past this portion right here, you're going to chuck. You cut it inside.
So if you look at this piece of meat right here, you have the mock tender, and this is the seaming. This is not a tender piece of meat. So
it looks like a tenderloin.
Yeah, it looks like a tenderloin. You know, it's right on the seam. You see, I just pull it away, and this is not a very tender piece of meat. You can make a roast out of it, you can braise it, but as far as a tender piece of meat, it's not a very tender piece of meat. Might be able to make some stewed meat and fajita meat out of it. So it's pretty, it doesn't have very much fat in it, so it's pretty lean piece.
We would normally take it from the bands off, cut it here, or cut the neck off. They would probably use these for shoot bones and maybe that's not trim, you know.
So he's going to make sure that he's keeping it close to the bone as possible. And what he's taking out now, he's going to take out the whole chuck. And when we get the chuck out, we'll be able to look and see the chuck eye roll and how that plays a part into the rib section. Because on the other side of this chuck section would be the rib end. That's where your rib eye is, where your short ribs are, and we'll be looking at that. So you see these neck bones, as he's cutting those out, I'll explain a little bit about those. Normally, we would cross-cut those neck bones to make soup, make stock, and but as I said earlier, on over 30 month, you're not going to be able to utilize these. We're going to have to send these to a landfill just for the risk of man counting.
And what do you guys do with the trim?
So the trim, different uses. You know, normally we would make it to ground beef.
Right.
You know, we have a machine that we can dictate or add fat to determine what percentage we have. So some customers ask for 75-25, some 80-20, and some of them, you know, as lean as 90-10. So we would be taking that trim. If it looks real fatty, we're going to send that customer to 75-25. We'll test it, make sure that's the range it's in. If it's real lean, we're going to mark it as 90-10.
And obviously that's not a perfect science, so like, how do you test that?
So actually, what we do is we grind it. We make a small size burger, and we put it on a burner that drips into a test tube. And so the test tube separates the fat from the moisture, and it allows you to see what percentage fat is in that ground beef. So it's pretty close to being, you know, dead on accurate. Now, with a sample size to be absolutely accurate, you have to test every 3 pounds. So, you know, we're having lugs of, you know, 50, 60 pounds, so per lug we're going to be pretty close to what we want. And also it's very important for labeling. You know, if we're going to label this product as 90-10, you know, the government wants to make sure that that product is 90-10, so we test all of our batches.
This is the, I call it the back strap, I call it the tender steering. I think they use it for maybe like Johnson and stuff like that. This is the whole boneless square cut chuck. Cut off the neck here.
So you might make stew meat out of this neck. Normally this won't go around.
Or we do get a couple boneless roast out of it.
Yep.
This right here is where the truck brings the meat to things on.
The whole chuck, this is what you might put in your smokehouse with your barbacoa.
Minus the pocket.
You know, as he takes it off, he's going to get into the chuck eye roll, and you know, that's great for making steaks, maybe roast dog. If you think about it, chuck eye roll, especially the first 2 or 3 pieces on the chuck eye roll going towards the rib end, you know, those are basically rib eyes because, you know, it's attached right to that rib eye end. And that's some of the, you know, the most flavorful rib eyes is when you're coming close to that chuck.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here.
What's the reason why you would only plant corn? I only do a monoculture and not have a mixed forage in there. Somebody listening?
We're just trying to divide
The mechanical harvesting, right? So if you plant more than one crop and you take a combine over it that's designed to harvest corn, it's not going to get the other crop. And the so I'm done here. So the nitrogen fixer, it's a legume, and so it fixes nitrogen in the soil, which the corn needs tons of. And then when we harvest it with the pigs, we're able to do what it would have been done if it was harvested with a combine anyway. It was going to be harvested and probably taken to some feedlot to feed animals. We cut out the middleman, far more efficient, We get the manure from the pig on the ground, which fertilizes it. You can see what a great job they're doing aerating it. You know, they're stirring it up. The parts they don't need. And with the polyculture, you're getting, you know, I can talk about the industrial model with pigs, but I don't want to be negative. It's the same as with cattle and chickens. High populations, high confinement. You know, the sows, they can't. Sows never turn around. They're baby factories. So a sow will go into a long, narrow farrowing crate where they'll never come face to face with their piglets. They can't turn around, and the pigs can't get to the front of her. And she stays there, has pigs. They wean them at 3 months, breed her again. That we think are just obvious. Like this, because you're getting money for it, doesn't make it appropriate. Now, I understand that you're not doing it for cruelty. I understand the things that push people into making those decisions. And there are almost no, like, I can't think of a farmer that I've ever met that really is, out to do ill for his animals. It's just kind of a system that pushes this way. So that's not just corn. They want their noses in the ground. So the chickens pick and scratch, the cows chew their cud, pigs got to push stuff with their nose. If that nose is not in something soft and moving it, then they have no way to relieve stress. And one of the elder statesmen of our movement calls it the pigness of pigs. We want to let animals, we want to let a pig be a pig and a chicken be a chicken.